I just wonder what I would do in my videos.
You just have to like scratch the mic, right? We're talking about AS. What is it? AMSR?
ASMR.
ASMR.
But I'd kind of want to like talk and then do stuff.
If you don't know what that is,
Like
by the way,
nails.
welcome to the show. We'll play the music in a minute. This part has to be very quiet.
Like
But-
today, I was all pongo.
Yeah.
And it's
Like, I don't even. What's the definition? It's like words and sounds.
what is the definition?
Google it really quick so we can get into this. This is a weird way to start a podcast, I know, but I'm being flooded.
Autonomous sensory
Yeah.
meridian response. Holy shit, I had no idea that's what it. Sometimes autosensory meridian response is a tingling sensation that usually begins on the scalp and moves down the back and the neck and the upper spine, a pleasant form.
And it's like sounds that do
Like
it.
relaxes you.
So what happened was on TikTok the other day, I got wrapped into this girl's live video of her, and literally they just go on here and they're just like,
Oh, I
"Go
watched
to
those
sleep,
too.
Go to sleep," and they're like rubbing things on the microphone, but like it's giving me chills as I'm watching it. And I watched this probably for 30 minutes.
Yeah, you can't stop. You can't look away. It's kind of sick.
Now it's all I get fed on TikTok.
Oh, because you watched it for that long?
You know how it does that? Like you like one video, and they're like, "You must want 4,000 more of the same videos." So like
Yeah.
I can't log on now unless I'm ready to experience all the sensations.
Yeah.
And like, okay, go to sleep, go to sleep, and they're like rubbing weird things.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's how we're starting off this episode of Kramer and Jess Uncensored. Okay. You probably can't hear that. Now you can. What's going on, everybody? Episode 69.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
I've been waiting 68 episodes to say that one.
Okay.
Here we are. In case you are new to our podcast, Jess, what is Kramer and Jess Uncensored all about?
We always say Uncensored is like the close friends feature on Instagram. So it's just for your friends. It's not appropriate for kids.
Nope.
It's not stuff you'd be posting on Facebook that your entire family could see. It's exclusive content here.
And yeah, just get ready for the ride. I have so many thoughts that are going through my brain right now of where I want to start. I sent our boss a nasty text. I shouldn't have done that.
Why? About what?
So mad at myself right now.
About what? For real? Are you lying?
No, I swear. I'm just being snippy right now. I'm having a snippy day with management here today. And
I
we
didn't get what we wanted, so
yeah,
that makes sense.
I didn't get my way, so now I'm being a brat.
So now you're
Like,
now you're
literally-
lashing out.
He literally,
Oh my god, you guys!
do you
So
hear that?
our building is under construction, and it's like Jumanji in this place. It is a shit show.
So
No way.
do you hear that? You have to be able to hear that.
No, they can totally hear that.
That's what I texted him about something. That was kind of. It was what we talked about earlier about does a certain person know
Oh yeah,
the rules and regulations of certain things, right?
yeah,
He didn't respond. It was an hour and a half ago. I just literally responded back, okay.
yeah.
This morning, I shot him an idea, and he said no. And I literally had to stop myself 3 times from responding. Sure, we're getting a lot of no's recently, aren't we?
Yeah.
Had to stop myself, but it just came out. That's a problem. It's like once it's in me, it has to come out.
Did you say that?
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. I didn't send that email.
Oh, you
by
just
the way.
said
But it just
okay.
came out with okay here because I'm already frustrated about other things that are happening.
Yeah.
And I'm taking it out in my passive aggressiveness of okay. But then I also said okay because he obviously didn't respond, and which is so bad. And then I said also, can we tell him to chill with the construction? So yeah, episode 69. You might hear construction behind us. I don't know. So sorry. We're also on YouTube. Hello to our YouTube friends. Jen's watching. Hi, Jen. How are you? It's good to see you. Tiny T is checking in as well. If you ever want to watch the show and interact live, it's kind of cool because we get your perspective of situations too. It's not just Jess and I in a bubble.
Mhm.
We do this on Wednesdays, typically around 11 Eastern. So be here for that. Can we talk about 69ing really quick?
Sure.
Do you do it on the reg?
On the reg?
When's
No.
the last time you 69'd?
Probably a couple years ago.
Yeah. It's not something you do in like the reg, right? Like
No.
in a routine. I did recently.
I think it's
did.
I think it's something that you try, and then
You want to like it.
well, no, I think I'm always down to try stuff, but I'm more like let me just try it to say that I tried it because I'm just curious, and then I'm like, and then I'm a one and done. You know, I'm just like, what is this? and then I'm like, I want to try it, and then I'm like, all right, well, that was a nice Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm good off that.
I promise you, I probably haven't 69'd since since like high school.
Yeah, and no, I think you do it when you're like really young because you're like because everyone jokes around about 69.
Yeah.
And personally, it's like I would rather just one person go at a time.
Yes.
So you can focus on what you're doing, and then you can also focus on like receiving the pleasure versus like
Yes.
how everything is, where you are, where you're positioned, like all that kind of shit.
Can you give me from the girl's perspective really quick? Because I'll give you from the guy's perspective. Because again, the idea of 69ing.
It just depends on like where.
Who's where? Where are you? Where would you tip? Last time you did it, were you top or were you bottom? I have to assume you were top because I don't think you weigh less. You weigh less.
I don't like thinking about it.
Why? Is it traumatizing?
I just don't like the person I was doing it with.
Oh, it wasn't with garage.
I don't really like to think about it.
I would assume you'd be on top. The smaller of the two typically would be on top, right?
Wow. I can't even tell you. Maybe I blocked it out of my fucking mind. I can't remember.
So every time that I've done it, I've been on the bottom. Well, the last time that I did it. And this is like just one of those.
I can't even picture it in my brain right now.
Feels weird now?
I can't even picture it. Yeah.
So I was on the bottom. So I got like.
Obviously.
Yeah. It's just like. You're just like staring at a butthole.
But some people like that.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
No, I know. I don't have a problem with it.
There's just so much going on. I feel
like
like each person should receive the pleasure and just focus on the pleasure versus like both you guys. It's like, it's like scratching your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. And you're like,
it's not needed. You can do one or the other. It's not needed.
Just take turns.
I'm also almost 100% willing to bet that there's nobody listening that's in a relationship
that does it consistently.
On the regular.
I would be curious.
I
would love to talk to someone who does. I would love to hear interest.
It's like your favorite thing.
Yeah.
I've never met someone that's like, I love.
If it's your favorite thing, like I would love to talk to you.
Call us 855 Kramer Jess. You can be anonymous if you want to.
Just out of curiosity.
I've just never met someone that's like, you know what I really friggin' love? 69ing.
And there's no judgment.
None.
Anything, I'm just more intrigued because I want to like understand.
Yeah. Why it's your favorite. Because to me it seems like it's way more work than it is pleasure. I'm like, I'm doing two different things.
Yeah.
Too many things. It's not pleasurable. But I feel like we'd be amiss if we didn't mention 69 on our 69th episode of Kramer and Jess.
If that's what you need. Go ahead.
Uncensored. We want to talk today about moments you're surprised you lived through.
Mm-hmm.
Moments you're surprised you lived through. Because Jess reminisced recently with a friend, and I think this can be a much broader discussion than where you guys even ended it with. How did we get here today?
I was chatting with my friend Becca, and we were just kind of reminiscing on our old living situations in San Diego. Like, how did we get through that?
Yeah.
And how were we just like okay with living where we were living and how we were living?
And what was the situation?
At one point, my lease was ending at an apartment, and I was low-key going to be homeless. I think I had like a couple weeks to figure out where I was going to go and what I was going to do. And I was with Becca, and I went with her to a party, and I met these two girls that were from New Jersey that just moved to San Diego. And
never met them before. No idea.
From a completely different state. Never met them in my entire life. Had no idea who they were. And I'm just meeting them because Becca had worked with them. And I mean, we're vibing. We had a good time. We got drunk. They got tattoos. I went with them and they got a tattoo, and we're like drinking. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to be homeless in 2 weeks, And they were like, well, you could come live with us if you want. I didn't even ask where they lived. I didn't even ask their situation. I was like,
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I moved into this small ass studio apartment with these two girls that I had never met before.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. And at one point, one of them had their boyfriend move into the place, and then there was 4 of us there.
Banged it out. 69'd a lot. No, they were in a relationship. They didn't 69.
And I'm just like, why? Who would ever just meet someone? It felt like a hostel, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't know who these people were, and I just moved in my shit, hoping that they weren't psychos and weren't gonna like kill me in my sleep,
right,
or steal my shit.
Right.
And I just move into this place.
It's just crazy. Like the thing. How old were you at this point?
Maybe 19. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like those young 20s-ish years, I bet we all have a story.
Yeah.
And that one, obviously, you didn't think you were going to die or anything. But it was, like, you would never do that now.
No, if I think about it, like, I can't believe I did that
Yeah.
with these strangers. And also, it was such a small apartment. Like, we had no room. Like, there was, like, 3 beds in, like, that area. Like, we had no space to, like, move and breathe.
I want to talk about the situations you're surprised you lived through, okay? Like, the stupid shit that you did that you're like, I cannot believe that I would, A, do something that's stupid,
Yeah.
and B, like, still be here to tell the story.
Oh, God. Do you know how many people I would hang out with from PB Sushi? Like, customers?
Yeah.
I had this table. I had never met them before. I think it was like a group of 6 of them, and they were like vacationing in San Diego. They were from Arizona. They're like, you want to party after work? And I'm like, sure.
God.
I get in a car with these people.
So stupid.
I had no idea how far they were. They like their house was like close to the border of Mexico. And I go all the way to this home, and I had no idea who these people were.
And think about that.
Can you imagine?
You could have easily died.
I could have died or
Could've
gotten
easily
kidnapped.
died,
And I'm just
man.
thinking like, yeah, this sounds like a fun time.
You were how old? Last week?
18, 19. Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stupid. I got 2 stories. I cannot believe I lived through these 2 stupid-ass decisions. One of them, let me see if I can put them in chronological order. Okay, the first one would have been, I was probably 21, okay? I was the big radio DJ in town, Jess.
Yeah.
I was famous enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because radio, I mean, you have to remember, back in the day, like, radio was the shit. Like, if you were on the radio, like, there was no TikTok.
Yeah.
There was no internet. I mean, there was, but, like, there was no, like, influencers. Like, everyone just had their internet page, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it was you, TV people, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was, like, the guy, right? So, we ended up hosting a New Year's Eve party at a hotel. And even thinking about this gives me the chills because I can just I can, like, visualize the moment. So, I'm staying on the 8th floor of this hotel, right? And I bring a bunch of people with me. This is like back when I used to like people, so it was a long time ago.
Okay.
And a bunch of girls, like, I got these girls are way too hot for me, just stuff like that, right? Being stupid. We bring a bunch of booze with us. We're just wasted, like stupid wasted. We go downstairs to the ballroom to do the whole party celebration thing. Cool, bunch of people. We go back up to the room, start drinking some more. I'm doing Jaeger bombs, just stupid shit.
Ew.
For some reason, I think it's a really good idea, wasted, to sit up on the balcony rail.
Oh my God.
Okay, can you like visualize it now?
Yeah.
Like I pushed myself like on the corner of this balcony, hotel balcony.
Oh my God.
Pushed myself up, and I'm now sitting
Why?
and wobbling.
Just to sit there?
I was just like, I'm gonna sit. I just want to sit.
Ew. Oh my God.
You know, I think about that moment. It has to happen once a month. I think about it. Maybe once every other, like, multiple times a year. Thinking about like,
no.
How the fuck did I not fall off the back of that balcony? Being that drunk and wobbly.
Yeah.
I remember my buddy, it was Dan, it was with me. It was a bunch of us, but he was like, bro, like, you got to get down. Like, you can't sit up there. I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
He pulled me off, but I could remember, like, I can remember, like, leaving, looking down.
Ew. Oh, God, I hate that.
Can't believe I lived through that. Shouldn't have lived through that.
I hate
Let me give you
that.
the next one. A couple years later, I'm living in Panama City Beach. And I am dating my ex-wife at this point. We were like, I mean, we're just dumb. We're 24 now at this point, right? And just dumb, just a kid, right? And my ex-wife and I, you know what we were really good at was fighting. We were so good at it. There's probably not a better cup. Well, we were just really good at fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when we were drunk. Well, you know how that goes. It makes things a million times worse. So we're at the club. It was New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And like by 10:30, I'm fucked. Like she has to drag me out of the club.
Yeah.
Takes me home. For some reason, I slap her.
You're lying.
I don't remember it, but it was like funny.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like we were in a fight.
No, but it wasn't funny. Yeah.
But like It wasn't. It wasn't like we weren't fighting about it.
It was playful,
I
but
thought-
it wasn't.
I-
But it wasn't okay.
I thought it was. Yeah. That's how drunk I was. I don't really remember the whole story, but it wasn't like an aggressive like we're fighting. I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah.
But it's something. I'm like. I think what she's making me. She's trying to make me throw up. I think that's what it is. And I'm like, you can't tell me what to do. Just being stupid.
Yeah.
Hit her in the face.
Yeah. No, never.
Now she slaps the shit out of me back.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This is a mess. She puts me to bed
Yeah.
because I'm just. It's like
A shit
it's like
show.
11:15 on New Year's Eve.
Terrible.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most people probably would have just
Passed out.
passed out.
You woke back up.
Woke back up. What did I do, Jess? Cannot believe I lived through this. What did I do?
Did you leave?
Left the house. Well, I'll give my ex-wife credit.
Did you drive?
She tried to hide the keys from me because she was like, I bet if he wakes up,
he's gonna go somewhere.
he's going to try to go do something.
Mm-hmm.
So she hid the keys from me. And for some reason, I'm like, in my drunken state, you know, sometimes you get real good clarity when you're drunk too.
Yeah.
Like 95% of it's just garbage. And then all of a sudden you have like some revelation moment. I'm like, I bet she hid it back in the back of the drawer in the kitchen. I don't know why. It just like came to me.
Uh-huh.
Went right to that drawer, went in the back of it. The key was sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, in my insecure brain, I'm like, she's probably out cheating on me or some shit.
So you were to like.
Because I tried calling her. That's
So
what it
you
was.
grabbed the keys to go find her.
I think so I wake up, she's not there. And so I try calling her. And I'm like, where the fuck is she? She's probably cheating on me. Fuck this bitch.
You psycho.
So psycho. So that's when I'm like, I gotta go find her. I bet she's not at her house. I bet she's banging some other dude.
Yeah.
Or at the club without me.
Yeah.
Stupid.
How dare she enjoy her New Year's
How
Eve without me?
Dare she?
Uh-huh.
If I'm at home, she's at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm gonna go to her house right now. I'm gonna go to her house right now. Yo, I'm fucked
You drove there?
up. Took my ass in the car. Here's all I can remember. And I didn't have to go that far. It was probably a mile and a half. But it was, far enough.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, being like, Steven, you've just got to stay focused. Like, you got to stay focused and, like, don't get in a wreck. And, like, but y'all, everything was blurry. I mean, it wasn't even just like, oh, I'm a little buzzed. Maybe I'll be okay.
Yeah, you're fucked up.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Thank God, for the grace of God, I got there.
Was she there?
She was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like probably 1 o'clock at this point. And she's like, what the fuck? So I'm like ringing the doorbell. I'm like, rah, rah. She's not answering her phone. I didn't hit anybody. Like, thinking about that moment
You could have died.
makes me sick.
Yeah.
Makes me sick. Just to think about, like, I probably shouldn't have. There's a good chance I wouldn't have survived that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason I did. Any other ones you got? Of like, you're just like, you look back in your fucking dumbass youth and you're like, that was so stupid.
I drove blacked out one time too.
What
I
happened?
completely forgot about that, but then when you said it, I was like, oh god. I was definitely going through something. I was like going through like a really shitty time in my life, and so I got fucked up at work. And I don't know why I drove, because usually I was always like really good about like Ubering home, and I think I left my friends at a bar and they didn't know where I was. And I remember getting in my car. The only part I remember is like driving on this loop, and I remember doing it and I felt like I was fucked up, but at the same time I was so disappointed in myself because I'm like, there's no turning back. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like where am I supposed to go? You know?
At that point, it's like, what are you gonna do? Stop the car and like call the cops on yourself? No.
Yeah.
Or like even call a friend? Probably not. You're like, you're going.
Yeah. And I like had to drive around this loop area, and I just remember thinking like, if I felt like if I would have gone any farther, I would have like gone into like the dirt trees shit. And I'm just trying my best to like stay focused. And like when I got home, I sat in the car and I just cried because I didn't tell anyone I did that. I haven't told anyone I did that because I was so fucking embarrassed that I did.
It's even worse, like when you know.
No, I was like, this is bad. I think we've hit rock bottom,
Yeah.
Jess. It was like one of those moments where like, there's no way. Like, how did I not get pulled over? How did I not get caught? Like, how did I not hit something? There was no way.
Good. Do you think it's? This is gonna get too deep. We'll go there. Fuck it. Do you think you didn't hit somebody that night? And same with me, because that happens all the time. Happens all the time. People.
That's why I was crying. I was
Yeah.
crying when I got
Happens all
to
the
my
time.
house, and it was not a short distance, by the way. I
you-
took side streets, but like it was pretty far.
Do you think? And same with the balcony. Like, should have fallen off that goddamn balcony. Honestly, should have.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we weren't supposed to die then? Or like go to jail then or whatever? Like that's like when I have to start thinking about these kind of things. People get DUIs, drunk driving, especially back in the day before Uber. You have to remember that. Like it was especially in Panama City Beach, it happened all the time. And the cop is New Year's Eve for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
I was on like the biggest stretch of road.
Yeah.
Coming from the clubs. You think we just weren't supposed to, or it was just odd chance we just didn't?
No, there has to be a reason why. Because where I was driving, like cops hide there all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's a spot where they kick it and they just wait for people that are doing stupid shit like that. And I was like, how did I not do something, or how did I not get caught? There was no reason why. Yeah. You know? Yeah, I hate it.
Well, I feel like shit. After that, let's do some more stuff. Sleep.
No.
Sleep, ASMR. Sleep.
Ugh.
Should we have one of those people on the show?
And ask like why?
Not on the show, but the podcast. And they can just do weird shit. And we just like get chills for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not boring.
I mean, I think so. It'd be kind of weird. I just kind of like wonder why they do it.
I don't know if that's a dumb idea or not, but I am thinking about sending a text message on Friday. Mm. And I don't know if this text message is going to be well received. And we need to,
on Maryland Day.
Of Maryland Day.
On Maryland
Day. Of all days, gosh dang it.
Yeah.
Tell me if this text is going to be well received. Right after the break. Okay. It's coming from a good place. But I know some of y'all are going to roll your eyes over this. Because.
Is it another closure text?
Go with me.
Oh, God. Boo.
If you've listened to this podcast long enough, there's been one reoccurring character on this podcast. I would say, when you say, we don't really talk about date, all my dating stories are typically used for the radio. But like when it comes to other, there's one person that we've talked about a lot on this podcast. Mm-hmm. And that person is who I call, she's been renamed. She's been rebranded. Mm-hmm. She was the toxic one. Mm-hmm. And then we rebranded her as the first one. So the first woman that dated outside of my marriage, and things between us got very crazy and wild. Mm-hmm. And if you've listened to, I don't remember what episode it is, but I told you that when I went back to San Diego last time, that I just wanted to have one more conversation with this woman because I felt like I needed closure in my heart, right? So when we go and we, and the reason I felt this way was because I thought she wanted nothing to do with me. And then on my birthday last year, she just texted me happy birthday. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to ask her before I come in. This was last July. Before I come in July, I'm just going to say, hey, listen, I'm going to ask you again.
The seed was already planted.
It was already there. Yeah. We're already conversing. I'm going to be there in July. Mm-hmm. Can we just meet up and have one more final conversation? She says, cool. Have this conversation. It's good. It's emotional, but it's good. It was a good release. Took me a couple of days afterwards to get over it, but like, it felt good. Now, during this conversation, her and I agreed that it's not gonna work.
Right.
It's just not gonna work. Mm-hmm. But we were like debating if we should stay in some level of communication with each other. Like, would that be necessary or not? Right.
Yeah.
So
dumb, but yeah.
And the agreement that we came up with, because here's the thing, I will, and I've said this a million times, but in case you're new to the podcast, I will forever love this woman.
Of course, but don't you think there's some people that you just have to love from afar and like...
I didn't know.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you where my heart's at, Jess.
Okay.
And again, I don't want to be with her. I don't. Like before I was like debating, and I don't want to be with her. Mm-hmm. I don't. But I should always have, for multiple reasons, some which I've never even talked about before, she'll always be a very special person. Like we went through divorce together,
as she should.
Healing, she like kind of. I don't want to say she saved my life, but she was a lifesaver.
Absolutely, and
while
I feel like
was going through my shit,
and I feel like anyone can relate to. Anyone can think of a person in their life right now that means so much to them, and it's almost painful in a sense of like needing to move on or letting them go. But I don't think that should ever make her less important to you, or a less, any less of a key player in your life just because she's not what you thought she was going to be.
And I have digested that fact now.
Yeah.
I have digested the fact that like we're not, and we're both okay with that.
Yeah.
But we both agree, so this conversation, we're always going to love each other. We know that.
Of course.
Now, what we said though is like, hey, if we can keep up with each other. We can definitely keep up. It's fine. Since we both are on the agreement, and I wholeheartedly feel that way.
But what if she's with somebody or you're with somebody?
We didn't. It was just an overall conversation piece of like just between her and I.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm hoping that's if you guys are just both single. I'm hoping that's not the case if either of you are in a relationship.
Assumptionally so.
Yeah.
I am single, right? So Friday's her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really debating if I should text her happy birthday or not.
What would be the harm in that if you guys agree to keep up with each other?
I don't know. Because let me actually tell you the last time we text.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look this up. Honestly, it's been a while. But I mean, I still think about it all the time. You know what I mean? I just don't.
Have you guys talked since the last conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just like fluff shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last time that we text, and this is how simplistic our situation has gotten, was August the 7th.
That's the last time?
So the last time that we talked was August the 7th. And it's because I saw something that reminded me of her. It won't make any sense to explain it, but like, and then she just responded back with something to go with the picture, and that was it.
Yeah.
And it was August the 7th. It was a long time ago. In case you're listening, the date of release of this is March 23rd. But like, I know her birthday's on Friday. And like, part of me really wants to send her one, but I'm almost like...
Did you guys say that you guys would keep up, but do you like really not keep up? You know, is it like
we
one of
obviously
those
don't
things?
keep up, but
Yeah.
I've almost been waiting to see if I was going to hear from her. I don't think about it. It's not like something like, okay, every day I wake up, I'm like, ah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it, you think? If take me the female mentality of this from the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be expecting to hear from me on Friday?
No. I think just because you guys had your conversation when you did last summer, but because you don't, it's not like you guys are actually friends.
Yeah.
You have no idea where she is in her life.
I don't know.
What
She could have a
what she's
boyfriend.
doing in her life.
We don't follow each other. Well, I don't follow her on social media, so I don't know
Exactly.
what's going on with her life. I have no idea.
That's what I mean.
But
So
like
it's like it would have been different if you had like a consistent sort of situation, which you haven't.
Yeah.
So it just kind of seems unnecessary.
Seem weird?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like if I don't say something that's like going to be insulting to her because she obviously texted me on my birthday?
Yeah, but that was because there was like bit unsettled situations that you guys I think just needed to whatever.
I'm just sick of that right now. Like part of me feels like I need to kind of return the favor. Because again,
So what, you're
no
going to
ill
send a
will.
text happy birthday and she says thanks and that's that? And then isn't that going to make you feel some type of way?
I don't
Because it's
know.
just going to be like, well, all right.
I don't know. Like both ways don't feel right to me.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't feel honestly it doesn't feel really right to send it, but it doesn't really feel right not to send it because I remember when she sent me that birthday text, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, hey, there's a person that cares about me. This is it, and all. I probably can have it right here. Let me see. Unless we were fighting back and forth about something. Obviously, we were fighting about something because I had deleted our text chain before.
Yeah. I just don't see the healthy positives of keeping ties to a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's just some things to me can be what they are, and you're always going to love them for who they are and why they did what they did for you. But I don't see it as it's like, I almost feel like you're prolonging something that's eventually going to have to end because this is eventually has to fade out. This can't go on forever.
Right.
This like, oh yeah, we're friends, but not really, but only kind of, because when she's in something serious and when you get into something serious, there can't be
You're
any
right.
sort of interaction or connection there. So it's like, why even still add anything there when you really don't have to?
That's a good point. I'm thinking through part 2 of that. It's like, what if I text her, I don't hear back? I feel like
Exactly.
shit.
That's my thing too, is like, there's just, because what if she is in a situation that you don't know?
Right.
And
she's
then
like,
that's going to put you in a
weirdo.
place that's just, you don't even need to be in. You just got to leave it. You just got to leave it as what it is.
even though we both said we'd like stay in touch.
Yeah, but that's fake as fuck.
You think so?
Yeah, because how long can you kind of stay in touch until you literally can't talk to each other for the rest of time? Like, how long is that going to go?
I don't know. If you got some feedback, YouTube ain't nobody saying a word on YouTube today. It's quiet over here.
Yeah,
y'all there? We got people logged in, but ain't nobody saying shit.
No, they're like, what do you want from us? We've been here before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
they're
know how
like-
this goes.
They're like, what do you want? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know. We can talk about it next podcast though, because I don't. Both ways feel wrong. All right, there you go. number 69. Thank you so much for listening to our show. We got a couple different ways for you to connect. First off, thank you again for making us the #1 podcast in the country.
Yay.
In Podcast Magazine. It's a big honor. If you text the word VOTE to 855 Kramer Jess, we would love for your vote for April. Jess, you got a podcast? You got some social media?
Yes, my podcast Low Key, and my social is at Just Do It, JESSDUITT.
I'm that guy Kramer. My podcast is called Certified Mama's Boy. Thank you for checking it out. Till next week. And by the way, just a little heads up, just to give you some, we're going to be on hiatus the 6th and the 13th. So next week will be our last podcast until the 20th of April. So if you're like, what happened? We're both going to be on vacation. So, all right. We love you. Goodbye. Bye, YouTube. Appreciate
Bye.
you. See ya. Bye, YouTube. Bye, YouTube.